mandatory workforce. Stay your ass in the house because we got people out here who are drug addicts and they're attacking random civilians for no reason. And it was
so question. Do you think it was just the fentanyl?
Hell no.
I think it's the chemical compound of the food and chemicals is in you, plus the energy waves is coming from 5G, your phone's all around. Your fucking phone tells you consumer reports. You're not even supposed to have your phone within a certain radius of your face or your pockets or none of that shit.
Uh-huh. Watch this though. Here's my thing.
So that on top of drugs, I think gives the alchemy of zombification type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but here's my thing with it though. I think they was implanted because ain't no way you tell us to stay in the house mandatory for a certain period of time. And then when we come outside, all the threats are gone. You know how many drug dealers we got in Baltimore, Maryland, and you tell me you wiped out all the niggas that was doing fit. Nah, bro, y'all was controlling some shit.
Yeah. Like, nah, so they put some shit in place, just like with COVID. When they told niggas to stay in the house and COVID, which 15 minutes city's on the way. City's on the way real soon. Pay attention. They don't like the Tower of Babel. They don't want y'all all talking to each other and shit. Mm-hmm. Like they did in COVID when they had people shut in. I was one of the essential workers that was outside and all that shit. They was putting shit up. They was building shit. That's when you start seeing your 5G towers.
Yep.
I bullshit you not. I watched them build them shits when I was driving, dropping off packages and doing contracting. I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody had an answer. Nobody want to question it either. Because again,
I want to give a real quick shout out to everybody in the comments. I see y'all in the comments. Thank y'all for coming through. I also want to give a shout out to the brother Sean. This was an amazing conversation. I want to give a shout out to the brother A1. Y'all already know. Peace and blessings to y'all. Yeah, this was a great conversation. We went over a lot of things. One of the important things we went over, was when I was talking about Baltimore. And we get to talking about these zombies. When you see World War Z or if you see The Walking Dead, that's happening in real life. Yeah, it is. But it's not like this thing is just magically happening because our people are making bad decisions. These things are happening because there are people put in place that are ensuring these things to happen. They're starting programs for these things to happen. They are bringing experimental drugs for these things to happen. Let me pop open this panel, y'all. Let me share this link. But yeah, this is most definitely a great conversation. Let's get into it.
It's a soft spot. What the women say they're soft life. It's a soft spot in being delusional and lost. And they cool with it. It's comfort because you ain't got to think. Somebody thinking for you.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go to work and do as they say. And hopefully they keep your lights and gas on and hopefully you can eat.
Yeah, it's the shadow in the cave analogy, man. It's the Plato shadow in the cave analogy. They've been
That's a great question. Let me see if I can show it right here. That's a great question. Think about it, man. The brain is, besides the heart, the brain is probably one of the most important organs in the body. You know what I'm saying? And so notice when the zombies eat the brains, what happened? They get smarter. You see what I'm saying?
looking at shadows for so damn long.
False.
The link in the comments, y'all. The link in the comments. Come on up on the panel if y'all want.
What you say? The what in analogy? What is the Plato?
Yeah, Plato, the shadow in the cave.
So listen, that's the name of the new AI system that's supposed to replace school systems for Melania Trump, starting August 2026 if the bill passes. It's called the Plato system.
Yeah. I told motherfuckers that was gonna happen.
You're too smart already. They said these niggas done used AI to best us. They done used this shit to learn shit. They done used it to get smart. We got to make them more dumb. Okay, so let's go. Let's go back to the olden times, Sumerian times. The first race, supposedly, of people here was the Ajiji. And what happened? They got wind and shit, started paying attention, and they turned against Enlil and them and tried to kill them. They wiped them niggas out to make the next one. They said they was too smart. So you don't think after all these years, and we the seventh kind here, they're not trying to make you dumber? They had to make you a certain level of smart in order to work for them, to terraform and work for them.
Yep. Yep.
But now they want to scale that shit back because they're like, we're going to let the robots do the other smart shit. And we're going to have these motherfuckers just to feed off their energy, off their despair, off their fight or flight, the fact that they're going to get universal basic income. And once that shit is drawn up, they're going to only have enough money to eat. Go watch the movie Out of Time with Justin Timberlake. I tell everybody to watch that shit. That's where you're headed. Hunger Games. That's where we're headed.
Hey, when I'm talking about that shit on the other live the other day, A1, I said that shit, that Hunger Games, and then we was talking.
Speaking about Hunger Games, me and my wife was just watching all of them the other day, and I was explaining to her that the smaller the city we live in is, the easier we can see it. You see what I'm saying? She was like, that looked like Baltimore. You talking about District 12, where Katniss is from. And I was like, yeah. Like, you know, when something happened, the whole town or in Hunger Games, the whole district go up in a riot, then they got the martial law. What happened? You got unexplained killings going off everywhere. They implanting fear everywhere. Yeah, when you pay attention to these movies, man, and you go outside, definitely when you're in a place or in a city like mine, you be like, yo, this is too accurate. You feel me? Um, we have my brother here. It says if someone consumes all of Bill Gates' books, you are what you eat. Facts. And this is why, this right here, this comment right here, this is why I got an upcoming segment. I actually want to turn it into a podcast style segment coming to Titans Debate League called Community Cave. And in Community Cave, this is what we're going to be doing. This is what we're going to be talking about, right? We're going to be consuming the knowledge of those who came before us, who paved the way. It's 2026 now. You see what I'm saying? And so in this day and age, we should be taking that work and making it benefit for us. You see what I'm saying? My man, listen, they hit it right on the spot. If someone consumed all of Bill Gates' books, you are what you eat. You become what you think about. You see what I'm saying? And so now we have this AI, right? I know a lot of people be hating on AI, but once you learn how to utilize it to your benefit, listen, it's lethal. So now we have this AI called Notebook LM, a person who's interested into finances, investments, um, just economic literacy, right? What they could do is they could literally take all of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. They could literally take their economic portfolios, and when I say economic portfolios, I mean the things that they excuse me, excuse me, the things that they invest in, the things that they write books about when it comes to economic, all of these things from just these three people, and you can put them all into Notebook LM, and then you can get Notebook LM to then teach you how to become a better economic entrepreneur, so to speak, a better investor, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? And so it's all about how you utilize these things. So hey man, keep your head up. I appreciate that comment. Do not want to work.
About the Neuralink joint, right?
Yep.
And
That was all in the same episode. That was the Soul Tribe episode.
and take what you were saying to the next level, right? Oh, we letting the robots do the smart shit because we control them. We gonna let them, and now we coming out with some shit. Now we gonna turn y'all into the robots.
Yeah, he would have liked that episode. It was Queen Cherokee. Her idea was if who's really listening to you and are they God?
You would like that episode. It was
but it
Queen
was about
Cherokee.
Big Brother.
Her idea,
you know what I'm saying?
If,
like, and they could, but she was saying use it, like talk to it. She's like talk to if they're listening, talk to it, and maybe it'll respond.
I cuss people out. I say shit, but I know they listening, watching. I haven't tell them sometimes. I like, man, come on, scale back today. I ain't for the games. Leave me the fuck alone. Somebody's like, this nigga crazy. The people I know, they know this type of information when they speak it in a decent amount group. They cut their TVs off. They shut their fucking phones down and shit.
Yep.
Got to. Because they
like any numbskull don't realize that all of these electronics are two-way receivers.
Damn, we covered
for
that
anybody
shit.
Just speak. Anybody talking?
Use the vacuum to spy on like all these people. There was this the vacuum that had the AI, the vacuum that vacuumed the house by itself, and he hacked it and had access to everybody's shit. And like, man,
some people call these phones and TVs black mirrors, right? And what does a mirror do? Reflect you, right? Mm-hmm. So while you seeing the image, just getting the image too. Pay attention, nigga.
Damn.
Yep.
I ain't never heard nobody say it like that. It is getting the image.
They getting the image. While we talking now, they see it here that they thought anything was of substance enough to the point it could make an uprising with people readily. Like, just say this was Kanye, Jay-Z, and I don't know, Dr. Dre or somebody like that that might have influence on it. Like, they'll shut this shit down and they'll come see us.
Yo, digital footprint, man. They getting the image from you.
That's why motherfuckers got to start meeting up in small places and making cold nasty shit just like they do. They meet up underground and all this shit. They ain't in no White House. They in Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. Every time you see them motherfuckers, that's where they at. They stole the White House. That shit was on Zillow like 2 years ago. It's an owner to that bitch. Anybody, all my real estate people that do real estate, you know, that shit ain't fake on Zillow. That shit real.
Think about that though. Here you got a house, right? That's the center of the country, and you let tours go in that motherfucker. You let any and everybody from 100 people to 350 people every 3 days take a tour throughout the whole White House. You think they really want to let the president stay in some shit that's that open to the public?
Come on, with prostitutes on the front lawn, prostitutes in front of the gate.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I'm well versed on the DC DMV area, motherfucker. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
That nigga.
I was at the nation's capital and that's fucked up.
It's the hood over there.
Because listen, the whole Washington.
I used to watch this show way before this new age Netflix and YouTube and stuff. The History Channel. It used to be called America's Greatest Secrets. And so they used to always play this episode that was dealing with the architecture of the White House. Man, they got secret bunkers going from here to other states. That shit is crazy. They literally got whereas though they can transport the president underground somewhere. Whereas though we think because the car is overground, we see him traveling, he traveling this way, but the whole time that nigga traveling a whole nother way. And then I had to go research that for my man. That shit is real. And then it really get deeper. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Go check that out, y'all. If y'all into that type of stuff, go check that out. The architecture of the White House.
Monument is a dedication to Apollo. Go look at any Roman, Greek architecture. All that shit is that. The Lincoln Memorial, all of that shit is Roman.
I know you know about the layout of Washington, D.C.
The
layout of Washington, D.C. is the Baphomet.
Yeah. But it's all of them. They got symbols on the fucking Washington Monument. It's built on top of
It's a pentagram. You know, it's a pentagram.
a real pyramid.
Yep. So yeah, they most definitely doing something.
They know where the energy centers are.
They know influential spaces there for no reason. It's because of the energy that's there.
Yeah,
it's like where the cobblestone is. It was a holy land before the cobblestone was there because it's energy that resides there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, y'all.
Energy centers at, man.
Come on, y'all. Stonehenge. It's an energy portal right there. Come on, y'all. Y'all want to keep going?
Now watch this. See, even on that, you talking about the energy centers, right? That's when we get to the nodal points or the grids. If you look at what they call the 7 wonders of the world, they all fall on the same nodal grid.
Oh, I don't know what a nodal grid is. You gotta give me hit.
So,
just like for instance, like Kazakhstan and the Luciferian scope, all them sit on 33 parallels.
Yes.
It's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
So, not a coincidence.
If you're looking at the globe A1 and you see them, the longitude lines and the latitude lines, that's a energetic grid. That's what that maps out. And so those lines are energetic lines.
Oh,
those
the electromagnetic grid. Okay.
Yeah. So
what do you think A1 the IP address is? An IP address is your actual location of your energetic section of your grid where you at, the longitude and latitude. That's what the whole.
There you go.
And they can find you right off of that. Yeah. That's how people dox you and get you and find out where you at.
That's why people.
Facts. The symbol of Baphomet is in everything you see. That is facts. And that's because people think the Baphomet is the devil. They hold this religious negative thinking about the Baphomet, but they don't understand that the Baphomet is a representation of polarity, duality, right? The Baphomet is not an actual being with a goat head and what they say, wings and this, that, and the third. No, it's just symbolism. So thank you for that, Brody. Get it in there. Thank you for dropping knowledge. We appreciate you for dropping knowledge in the comments, man. Hey, go look this stuff up. Go do your own research on this stuff. I did drop the link in the comments, by the way, y'all. If y'all want to come on up here on the panel, y'all want to start your own little conversation, you know what I'm saying? Come on up here. Let's get it, y'all.
Use VPNs.
Yeah.
Now watch this, A1. Now, every major wonder of the world is on the main latitude line that go all the way around in a circle. Now, this is not a coincidence, and the reason that is just as what the brother was saying. These are energy centers. They didn't just build random, like the pyramid is on this same line. They didn't just build the pyramid right there just because they felt as though, oh, well, let me just build something nice right here. No, they understood that this space right here cultivate a large proportion of energy, and we can use that energy for some shit. That's why
I think they building the data centers where they building them at, bro.
Yeah, that's why I went to the guy by the name of Sagaru. And when you watch Sagaru, he actually take a tour around America and he go to these sites and he tell you why he go to these sites. This not Stone, but Buffalo Mound, this got a large energy center. You come here, you can pray, you can recharge, you can heal, you can do all these things. That's why the ancients came here so much, because of the presence that was here. Like, man, and people think that is a bunch of baloney because of sci-fi and the woo stuff. But it's like when you
right in your face, man, we literally are living on top of. We literally like, you know how they call Africa the motherland.
Yep.
It was once called Ethiopia, then it was once called Alkebalan, all the rest of that. But you ever looked at the side of it? You like turn Africa to the side? It don't look like a head of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
A skull of a woman, maybe AKA Tiamat. I'm out. Let me go grab something. I'll be right back.
Yep.
No, that's fast. I mean, it's just when you pay attention to this type of stuff, and see A1 is these type of conversations that make, like, when you know about this stuff, it make certain debatable topics so easy to cover, because it's like you have to learn about the topical stuff to get to the very root of a lot of information. Like, you have to know, for an example, right? What the brother started off with about the Hamashiach being in Kemen and all of that. You have to know about things like the Bronze Age collapse and what was going on and what was the kings and them over there doing and why did the economics even collapse in the first place. And you have to know about that.
Yep. You have to know what was going on in politics then and why certain books was only admitted too.
Show him what book we started off with, that you started the episode off with.
Nah, man.
You're going to have to go back and watch it from the beginning.
This is Constantine, the emperor. That's who changed religion too in the Council of Nicaea, 325 through 331 AD, infused Jesuitism, Satyrism, paganism, all that shit in one and whole, and put Hebrew text and esoteric Egyptian text, and they wrote it all in one, which now known as Christianity, but Christianity was a derogatory term for Romans and Greeks, like calling somebody a nigga. It was like one who believes in any savior, one who believes in something outside of themselves or whatever else. That's what the term meant. But, you know, we scream shit and we don't know what it means. And this was the other book that, you know, I stumbled upon the movie Dark Tower, and I was trying to tell him that's basically like a modern depiction of the Tower of Babel. And it's like little hidden gems in that movie. And then it made me grab this book, which is a history of ancient Egypt, from the first farmers to the Great Pyramid by John Romero. And the crazy part is, you know, it got Anubis on the side. It's a whole like series of these books. And these books is in the library, bro.
Oh yeah. See, a lot of them are in the library because a lot of people don't read them because they don't know the information that's it. Like, yo, I just picked up the Book of the Dead by Wallace Budge at $5 and Below for $4 And I'm like, yo, if y'all knew what the fuck this was, this shit wouldn't be in here. Now, I literally just picked up the Dowdy chain in $5 and Below for $4.
My homegirl, now that I used to work with, she's born and raised in Egypt, right? Worked with me in a call center. She was breaking it down as, you know, some religious folks at the job when I worked there. She said the fact of the matter, just like what you said, that you can find an esoteric or real spiritual God or Helios Biblos source in dollar stores and things like that, says that this is Babylon. This is the bad place. He said, y'all hold bad stuff in high regard, but the things that will edify you and liberate you from the sources that are oppressing you, y'all treat them like it ain't shit.
There you go.
That's a fact. It's interesting that when we speak about things that edify the soul, right? Even if you're not religious, one always clings to the Bible in that regard. But we fail to realize all of the new spiritual literature, if we could call it that for the lack of better words, that we have nowadays. I've said this before. I understand. I can sympathize with my ancestors on, you know, why they held the Bible so close for so long. You know what I'm saying? However, nowadays it's too many works out here for us to continue to cling to this book for a spiritual purpose. Not when you can find, like I was just saying in the video, not when you can find a Dowdy chain in $5 and Below for $4. I read the Dowdy chain and you probably never want to read the Bible again. Because for what? You don't have to go. It puts everything in plain sight for you, and you don't have to believe anything. because it's a practice. It's not a belief system. We was just talking about the book the other day called The Kabbalion. Read The Kabbalion once or twice. You're going to have to read it like 2, 3, 4 times. But read that book 2, 3, 4 times. And then go back and read the Bible. Yeah, I promise you it won't measure up. Because, yeah, the stories in the Bible are nice, but they still don't give us the essence of what this is. And for people to try to explain the essence of what this is, I'm speaking about life, they have to use a religious framework. They have to say that God created it all. They have to say that the devil is a liar and a deceiver, and the devil make you do the bad things, and God is right here. They have to use this framework. And so we have to understand that education in this day and age, applicable education, applicable knowledge, things that we can apply, is very important. Very important. I'm gonna land my plane right there. Let's get it in, y'all.
That's why you finding jewels. Go ahead, keep throwing it away. We'll gather it. And just for all intents and purposes, if you got over 100 books, that's considered a lot. I think it's 100 or 1,000, depending on your state, it's considered a library, and then you're tax exempt. It's one to grow on too.
That's fine.
Because they burning information right now to reset it and reshape it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
They ain't got to burn no library now. They just pull the plug on shit and reintroduce it as something else.
Hell yeah. Nigga, I shut the internet down. What PDF you gonna read?
Yeah.
Everything we learning from this internet, man, y'all better be writing this shit down.
There you go. There you go.
Making books to it, write it down. Guard it. Guard it like you guard your grill. Guard it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a book
Because this
coming out
if
real
something happen to
soon,
you,
too,
you gonna
nigga.
want you. Generational wealth ain't just titles and deeds, it's knowledge too, motherfuckers.
There you go. I was just telling my daughter that the other day. Yep.
That's how you get the titles and deeds.
Damn, that's deep. Let me drop a bomb for that one over here on this side.
How do you think they stay? How do you think they stayed in power so long? Because they understand the motherfucking game that's being played.
Right.
Come on, y'all. And trust me, the next stupid motherfucker to say, "Why aren't you rich?" I'll be there. You talking about financially, right? Money, denim, paper shit, right? Yeah, I'll get there.
Shit, nigga, I've been rich, nigga.
I've been rich in soul and spirit and
Exactly. That's
up here for quite a long time, bucko.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's
so when your money can get shredded and burnt, they can't burn my money. It's coming with me. This consciousness coming with me, baby. I know how to tap into these Akashic records.
We got exactly what we need, brother. We got exactly what we need.
But you know the issue about that is that's because people don't know what success is.
Oh.
They be stuck looking at this influential, the social media joint, and they think, oh well, success is when you got a lot of money. They don't know what true success is. And so that's why they always, oh well, where your money at? You say you this, you say you that. Where your money at? It's like, bro, that's not what
success. Yeah. That's like telling a woman that her goal in life should be to get married to a man. that our goal in life. But people do that though. But it's to me that's like the equivalent, because what, you want to be rich? How much time did you trade for that? Half these people be working 13, 16-hour shifts. You know what I'm saying? Giving away their whole life just to say they're successful. Like, no, you're a slave, nigga. Like,
did you not hear the shit that Rockefeller said on his deathbed? He said something to the effect of, they asked him what was his regrets and shit. He was like spending more time on money than, basically himself, and not living life.
Yep.
On chasing money than chasing life. And this was a sadist. That nigga was a sadist, by the way. The same nigga who made your school system was a sadist. The same nigga who introduced gasoline and petroleum, but then invented the Cancer Society.
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller.
I knew you was talking about when you said that. The
It's the
petroleum
same
and all
person.
that.
That the real Mr. Burns in real life. Who used to fellowship with.
And check out his wife, Spellman. Check out Rockefeller wife. Man, these people was playing on a whole different game, man. These people playing on a whole level, a whole different level.
Carnegie and Bill Gates' grandfather. You wonder why that motherfucker's in position.
Mm-hmm.
Silly.
Motherfucker went from working on microchips to working on your DNA. How the fuck that happened?
Right.
Because the inside of you look like a power grid and shit though too, and then the stars and all that other good shit. But you know what the fuck do I know? Crazy.
Hey man, rise and shine, man. It's a good day, man. It's a good day. It's a good start to the day.
Yeah, somebody had got mad at me about that too. Why don't you just close that? I said, I need the light. I need the sun rays. It's too much sun. How the fuck is it ever too much sun?
Don't forget the ground, bro. That help raise your frequency fast as heck.
No, for sure.
Hug a
So
tree.
these phone positives coming up.
Yeah.
These phone positives coming off in a minute. Listen, on some G shit. And it's after 12. I'm about to eat in a little bit. Like, people don't even know that. They be like, oh, you're crazy or you're clouded in your judgment. Motherfucker, your diet is clouded.
Yeah.
You can't even think straight.
Yeah. Well, why are we even talking?
Why are we talking?
Yeah.
Don't they tell you food drives your mood? So if I'm on empty from food, wouldn't you think that I'm speaking more solid than a motherfucker that still got donuts and ho-hos and all kind of shit in their system from the night before and then some?
Get it in. Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, they gut the brain connection is cloudy, baby.
People don't get it. That's why you think they tell you to trust your first, trust your gut. Your gut is your first mind.
Yep.
Don't the intestines look like your brain?
What have you been feeding your gut? Have you cleansed it? Have you fasted?
Come on, man. You got to fast the brain too, because I'm about to have a timeout moment in a minute where I'm going to go, not dark, but just, I ain't talking to certain people. I ain't talking to motherfuckers for a minute because I need to recharge.
And I ain't talking about just having a salad for lunch. I'm talking about have you starved it of any toxic materials for an extended period of time? Man. Like, and I don't even mean starve it as in when I say fasting, go on a fruit fast. Go on a raw vegan fast. Just eat fresh fruits and vegetables for a week or two, do something different, man. Get some fiber in your life, man. Well, go ahead,
Yeah, no, that's all good, man. That's everything with it. Listen, bro, all this shit is all around us, bro. Nike Air, all that shit. Apollo had a daughter named Nike. The influence is all around us. The clothes we wear. Nigga, we supposed to be wearing higher vibration shit like linen and shit. Silk ain't even good. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We out here wearing polyester and cotton.
Yeah, I know cotton is bad, but yeah, I'm wearing cotton right now.
Listen, we was taught wrong. Go look at that motherfucking Terrence Howard. See what he dressed in. He might show up to somebody rap show like he did verses and shit and some, normal, Matrix gear, as you can call it, some regular shit. But for the most part, that motherfucker be wearing linen jogging suits and shit. Custom made.
Energy right, huh?
To keep his frequency and energy right. Now, you see his old lady Asian, right?
Yeah.
Asian secrets.
Yeah, she getting it right.
Because guess what? Like I was telling you earlier, they influence certain shit. They ain't let the Western world colonize them.
Oh yeah, the Asians.
Because at one point in time, the Western world wasn't the Western world. This shit was all together.
Yeah. Then the Western world is really a school of thought for real.
It's a school of thought. It's not the land.
It's not even the fucking land. Once you realize that this is how the word wizards trap motherfuckers. Oh man.
It all derives from that Roman Empire, all the rest of that shit. It comes from what they say, all roads lead to Rome. Ain't that what they say? It's not a joke. It's not a game. They're like the most reported people to claim their fallen bloodline heir to it and stand on it. And then that was the misdirection because, like, people like, yeah, the 13 families, the Kennedys, the Bundys, the Onassas, the Lees, the Vanderbilts. And, yeah, well, it's 22 nigga families around them too. What? Oh, did you talk to 13 was the black nobility? And the word black ain't just for black for color, but it's a certain bloodline.
Okay, so I got a question. I got a question there. What areas?
That kind of validates the story of Yaqub and Yashub, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if this is shifting. It's not shifting gears. It's kind of right on topic, but it is a little shift. Like what areas do they have dominance and colonization over, like from language, everything that's really got the foothold on their situation and that they're using to kick our ass with?
What language?
No, I'm saying English? No, I wasn't talking about a specific language. Like what areas of colonization, what has colonization touched and dominated, I should say. Like language would be one of the areas. Like
everything.
What it ultimately did was it slowed the progress of a certain people, right? Long enough to get the leading people further ahead, right? So when the Europeans came and colonized Africa, it stopped their progress in how they were developing. But what it did do is it allowed the Europeans to develop further. So by the time Africans got to where they were supposed to be, I'm talking about in the modern day sense, where they were supposed to be, it was like the Europeans was already centuries and centuries and centuries ahead. So now it's like no matter what melanated people do, we'll never be able to catch up because they had us in stagnation for so long. Right? Like
but you know who built that European empire, right?
Huh?
You know who built that European empire, right?
Oh yeah, the Moors.
And not just regular Moors, not just the Moors, it's all other. Yeah, it's they learned that shit from them. They sold out some of us for sovereignty and to go over in other lands that we can't inhabit.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep it like that. Cause they don't want it's like yeah, I don't want all these other niggas knowing I'm the nigga behind this shit, and I got it. Cause then these niggas gonna feel like they.
Facts. Language is the only area. If you cannot write it, you cannot read it. Facts. And so, I was Brother A1 asked a great question, in this thing, and I was wondering myself. I had to ask myself like, how I answer this question. And just how I expected myself to answer this question. The halt of one people's progression allowed the other people to get further. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like when you have to really put these things into perspective, bro. When you strip away a people's language and then you force them to learn your language, when you strip away a people culture, now people say the word culture and sum it up in one word, culture, but when you strip away a people culture, we mean their the way they dress, the way they live, the way they eat, the way they operate in their society. All of these things constitute of culture. So when you take all of that away from these people, even their belief system, when you literally take this and then you impose your own, right? And then not only impose your own, but you say, in our system, you can't read, you can't write. You see what I'm saying? You can't own this. You can't get into finances. These are things that you are excluded from. And this is not for 1 year, for 2 years, for 50 years. This is for 400 years. So within those 400 years, you have to understand, well, what is the people in charge doing? They're just advancing. And then after we get the outbreak and things of that nature, once they finally let them go, right? Here's the people. If we've all heard of the tick experiment. If y'all haven't heard of the tick experiment, go look it up. The tick experiment is if you put some ticks in a jar and put the lid on it, they'll only jump up and down, right? Because the lid prevents them from jumping out. It's not they can't jump out, the lid prevents them from jumping out. After some time, once you take the lid off, the ticks in the jar will only jump as high as the lid because they don't know that you took the lid off. So they're literally conditioned to jump at the height of the lid. Now let's bring this back to our people, right? When you condition a people for a lengthy amount of time to live a certain way, to pray a certain way, to do everything a certain way, when you take those restraints off of those people and then say, hey, go build your own stuff, they don't know anything else. Elder Infodigi said something that still resonates with me, right? I came across in one of his videos. He said Harriet Tubman could have freed more slaves if only they knew they were slaves. If only they knew that this life is not the life that you're supposed to be living. And so that's why a lot of this this stuff is important. You see what I'm saying? When they tell you you can't speak your original language, when you can't learn your culture, and then we wonder why they got all the land, all the access to the banks, all the, everything in their pocket, because they got access to everything. We don't have access to anything. And then nowadays, the argument on the side is, well, back then you were asking for more jobs, y'all got more jobs. Back then you were asking for land, you were asking for equality, you were asking for this, you were asking for that. We've always been asking for our own. This is why I enjoy watching the old activists, right? I enjoy watching these people because they bring back to remembrance what we are fighting for. Me and Unc was talking on his platform the other day. He was like, Humble always got to fight. I do got to fight. And the fight is we cannot be erased. That's always been the fight. We cannot be erased. Not our culture, not our lineage, not our language. We have to be remembered. Because why are they trying so hard to erase us? And then, people will push back. Well, ain't nobody trying to erase nobody. That's how y'all thinking. Okay. But then when our people come out with some information, it's always looked down upon. Oh, that's not what academic consensus say. So these type of conversations are very he said I studied the English language vigorously. Listen, we got to. Let's get into it though, y'all. Let's get into it.
They gonna feel entitled. You gotta break these words down. Like what's the word you said? The elites, right? L-lights, L-lights. They feel like they are the lights of God. The name L, just think about it. Every last one of them got that. It's all go back to this shit, bro. It all go back to this shit, bro. All of it. It's right in front of you. All right, we the indigo people, the brown people. Like, I don't like to keep, I'm bred different, I want to say. I don't like to stand in the fact that we was just all unadvanced in Africa, because Ethiopia was basically Wakanda type of shit and still is. They ain't, even though it was a Wakanda. It's no Wakanda in America, and Amarukan to marry that we call America too.
Very advanced in, in the motherland and things of that nature, but people fail to realize that there's more than war and conquering that stops a people progression. You see what I'm saying? So when there was things like internal affairs that was going on over there, not so much of the external affairs that really led to that downfall. It was the internal affairs that led to that downfall.
Same shit going on here. Same shit gonna keep going on. As long as people keep on riding the hamster wheel.
Right.
What they tell you, you must like it. You keep doing it. You gonna stop doing some shit you don't like. Eventually you're gonna get tired of it.
Exactly.
But people have a defeated mindset because you stuck in the lower vibration. We transitioning. We going into a 5-dimensional state. And if you still stuck in 3D, them 4D motherfuckers can control you.
Right.
And then
so I just want to bring light to something really fast, right? So we was talking about, in Kemet, a lot of the downfall was internal. When we look at the history, it makes sense that a lot of the conflict in Kemet was internal. That's the reason why the Hyksos were able to politically invade Kemet. Mind y'all, when the Hyksos came to Kemet, they didn't bring a war to Kemet's door. No, they got in through political means. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these, what people will call the dark ages for Kemet, or intermediary periods, they were times where people were changing political statuses. And that's, listen, this is why we gotta go do the research, man. That's why we gotta go do the research. So let's get into it, y'all.
Eventually we gonna sick our like sore thumbs, which we kind of do already.
Yeah. That's why
anybody talking like this, conversating, trying to share knowledge with each other, and bringing up the root knowledge over the tainted ass fruit knowledge that we've been given.
Now, real fast, Brody, if I can. Now, A1, this goes back to what I was telling. This goes back to what I was telling Omar the other day. What's your name again, Brody? My bad. What's your name again, Brody?
My name is Sean, but they call me OZ. Yep.
OZ, okay.
Like an ounce. And people mistakenly calling me Oz, but I ain't Oz.
Yeah. So imagine if OZ was talking the information he talking, but in a professional, monotone voice, right? Niggas wouldn't listen to him. Niggas would think, nigga, if you don't get your coon ass out of here, But because he coming with that soul, we relate to what he's saying. It's because he bringing that raw. This is what I found all of our people have inside of us. When we speak our message genuinely, we got that thing to the soul that make people want to stop and listen and turn their head like, whoa, what he saying? You see what I'm saying? And that's that shit that them people hate, that the white people, they hate that shit. Because they can't, it's bro, man, they hate so much. See, people think it's just about our skin complexion, bro. They hate our uncanny.
I do want to say this. I don't want to sound, listen, it is what it is. But I don't want to sound like I just got a knack for like I just don't like white people, things of that nature. No. When I say what I say, I'm talking about the certain mindset of a group of people. You might look in the mirror and say, oh, well, I fit the description, so I'm them. No, if you don't carry that mindset, you know what I'm saying? So it's people don't understand, man. People don't understand. When you watch this stuff, then you will see that, like, bro, we got this thing and it's called soul that they just don't have, bro. Let's get into it. It get deep.
Ability of rhythm. They don't like the way that we swag when we walk across a room. They don't like our presence when we can just stand in the room and be quiet and everybody paying attention to us, because that diminished. Like, people, man, listen, man, this gets deep. This
because
really
you're an eonic being. If you go back to the book, The Origins of the World, that's a good book to read, y'all. Origin of the World, that tell you a lot about the Garden of Eden. The Lost Books of Adam and Eve is another good book about Adamu and Kawa. What's her real name? But anyway, we're eonic beings. We were once eonic beings. Like how A1 said he see people as light and energy. That's what we are. What happens if you record in the studio? Each one of those bars that you record, a wavelength is a certain color and frequency, right?
Hey, yo, I see you down there, Capone. Hey, listen, you already know that link in the comments. The link is in the comments.
You think that's for a reason or no reason? It's definitely for a reason. The color come up different depending on who rapping and who's singing in there. Could that be connected to what chakra level they were when they were saying that tone or saying that verse or singing that part? All that shit line up, bro. It's all around you. All of it. Everything, bro. And you're an eonic being. That's why we beam light a lot more than other folks do. And all skin folk ain't kin folk. And I mean that too. Because it's a lot that look like us that do not. It's some soulless people around here, bro. And if you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. That's why I don't touch everybody. I don't dap everybody up. I don't shake everybody's hand. I got to feel your energy first. And I ain't trying to sound weird. If I gather that shit distant, I don't dap everybody up. I don't want no gumbo souls through in my body.
Where's the proof? Where's the evidence of the indigo people? There's most definitely evidence of the indigo people. Hold on, I can get that for you. Well, let's get into it. I got you, Capone.
I'm cool, nigga. I ain't shaking everybody's hand. I ain't hugging everybody. I could be single as a jingle and I ain't sleeping with everybody. Real shit. If I don't see that energy coming out of you, and if you ain't, I can't fuck with you. They see our energy coming out of us. Like you said, when we speak it raw, pure, uncut, like that, that's from your Merkaba. That's your light. That's your energy source. It's a portal.
What up, Capone?
Hey, shalom, peace.
What up?
What you got going on up in here, Humble?
We chilling, man. We just going over a video. I'm just over here. I was in a video, so I was just breaking this video down. Hey, this is an open panel for real. That's why I dropped a link in the comments for people to come up, have their own little conversations. You asked a great question though. Where's the evidence of the indigo people, right? So these people are called the blue black people. It's a phenomenon several African groups are inherently described this way, not because they were literally blue, but because extremely dark inner melanin can reflect light in the way that gives a cool bluish undertone, right? So we talk about the indigo people, right? the blue-black complexion of Africa. Across the continent, especially in the equatorial region, some populations develop a very high concentration of eumelanin, the darkest from the melanin. Under the sunlight, this can create a blue-violet sheen, a cool tone undertone, a midnight or jet black appearance. This is biology, not myth. So these people are called the indigo people because they're so dark that it appears that they give off a blue violet hue or blue violet undertone.
Yeah, so so two things. So when you that color spectrum, that color wavelength that you're talking about, that's not visible.
What? That is visible.
It's not visible to the far as our color spectrum. Like if you ever get a black light, you know what I'm saying? A black light will be that color, right? But it gives off when you light it, it's a blue. It's a blue light, and it reveals things that's like that we can't see with the naked eye. That's what I mean by that. So you're talking about on the color spectrum, that'll be like ultraviolet, like the highest. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's visible in the as far as the light spectrum that we see in the wavelength. But also, when the ancients, we have like different cultures or civilizations depicting certain blue or green or black individuals, those are distinctions between the common people, the regular people, and the deities or these extraterrestrial beings, right? So that wasn't the common people wasn't that color. It was just that was
Hold on really fast. Let me
that was a symbolism for divinity.
Nah, hold on. Let me share this really fast. Let me share this screen really fast. So this person right here, right? Can you see him?
Yeah.
His skin is brown. It's really, really, really dark. However, it's so dark that the hue that emanates from his skin match his shirt. So when you say we can't see this, hold let me cam in. Let me screen in so you can see. When you say we can't see this with the human eye, you see that, right? You see him, right?
Yeah, but that's not him being blue though.
But I never said he was blue. The reason these people hold on. The reason these people are called the indigo people is because their very skin is so dark that it gives off a bluish hue. So his skin is dark. We can see that his skin is dark. But his skin is so dark that it gives off or it emanates a hue that matches his shirt. We know that his skin complexion is not the same complexion as his shirt. We know that. But because of how much melanin he has, it's a reflection, it's a hue reflection. But this hue reflection that people can see visibly with their eyes, what we're seeing right now, right, is why these people are called the indigo people. Not because they're literally indigo, no, but because of how dark they are.
Yeah, so I'm looking this up right now. I say indigo children are a new age pseudoscientific concept.
Stop it. You know we ain't talking about no indigo children.
To possess special and unusual or supernatural traits such as high institution, empathy, and a rebellious, strong-willed nature.
Capone. If I'm talking about
all right. So what about if the queen? You saying it's a queen is indigo?
Capone, listen. If I'm talking about the Dinka people, and I'm talking about Africa, And I'm talking about his skin complexion. And I'm talking about how dark his skin complexion is, right? That gives off of this indigo hue, indigo eminent, so to speak. Why are you over here talking about some pseudo judo bull crap? I ain't never mentioned nothing about that, bro. You know I'm talking about these people right here.
So is that a real person or is that just
That's
a picture of somebody?
person.
All right, let's see.
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
I'm trying to see where this stuff, where it originates from. Just because they are dark skinned, it's different shades of dark, being dark. Like, so look, you see my picture?
Wait, what picture? Hold on.
Right here on my cover screen. I look dark as hell right there, right?
Yeah.
I look blue black right there, right?
No, you don't look blue black. Get out of here, Capone. Yo, my man Capone is crazy.
Yeah, bro. That don't have nothing to do with. I don't know, man.
Yo, so you still don't understand. So
this is weird.
Listen,
you trying to get off a blue tone.
So dark. His skin is so dark that it gives off the illusion that he have indigo skin. He don't have indigo skin. It's just a pigment. It's called newer, right? So let me break it down for you like this, right? Across the continent, I've read that already, right? Let me read it again because maybe you don't understand it. Across the continent, especially in equatorial regions, some populations develop very high concentration of eumelanin, right? So this person here has a very high concentration of eumelanin.
But humble.
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Darkest from melanin. Under sunlight, this can create. So you see how he's outside and he's under sunlight, right? Under sunlight, this can create a blue-violet sheen, a cool toned undertone, a midnight or jet black appearance. This is biology, not a myth. So what's happening to this man under the sunlight, right, is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no metaphysical pseudo judo, none of that. I'm literally talking about the phenomena of this brother's skin under sunlight.
So I'm looking at the Dinka people, and they don't look like that. What you saying?
He do look like the. How are you gonna say they?
They look like regular black people. What are you talking? They just tall as hell. What the hell are you talking about?
That's not the point of the. That wasn't number one. That wasn't the point of the video that the brother was saying. And number two, that's not the point of what we're saying. What we're saying is that these people. Let me rephrase it in a minute.
All right, hold on. Let's wait. You said that these people don't. These other people that you was talking about. You were saying that they don't have a soul. What evidence do you have of white people not having a soul?
Oh my gosh, bro! You know, and you know the context. You know the context. I was using the word soul. When I say soul, you've heard of the Soul Train before, right?
Right. So
when we say the Soul Train, do you get European or do you get African American?
You get both. The Soul Train.
You don't get no goddamn. Nigga, white people can't even walk down the street in a proper rhythm, and you talk about.
I can show you the Soul Train where you get on the shoulder with Don Cornelius and his white people on there. What are you talking about?
Looking horrible.
Man, gotta stop.
Nigga ain't got no rhythm. That's crazy, bro. Hey, you ever seen the movie Blood and Bone?
Blood and Bone?
Yeah, with Michael Jai White.
Oh yeah. Blood in, blood
so
up.
Do you remember the part where he went up to the where the dude that was trying to get him to fight, he went up to the white man and he was the white man started telling him about himself. He was like we have an uncanny, what would he say? He said we have an amusement for your uncanny natural athleticism
Mm-hmm.
and your amazing sense of rhythm. The reason being because their asses ain't got it.
You be better off just saying they reptiles, bro. I don't know what to do with that. That's a movie, bro.
He said, what's your proof that they ain't got no soul? Nigga, you see a white person walk down the street, ass is about to trip every 5 steps. The asses ain't got no rhythm.
Yeah, that's not true, man.
Man, you ever heard that you ever heard them at a birthday party?
Bro, they people just like us, bro.
Hey, no. They be snapping on 1s and 3s and shit.
White
You
people,
is hilarious.
bro. That's not. That's not true, bro. You tripping, bro. You going? That's off the deep end. But I get what you're saying about. I want
been to a white. Oh no, hold on. In Capone, you been to a white church before?
Yeah.
Right. And so don't you know when they be singing in the pews and whatnot, right? Now you can't tell me that the people in the pews, right? The congregation, the people in the pews don't be off beat when they be clapping their hands.
Man, I don't know if
you might as well listen. You can eliminate the whole drumming section. They got the drumming down pat. Boom, tap.
So you telling me at an opera? So you telling me at an opera when the opera is over and the people clap, all the white people clap for the opera. Say it's all white people attend. That clap is off beat.
Yeah, that clap, man.
It's off rhythm.
That claps me off beat.
Come on, man.
Nigga, you see the white movie? Hey, yo, you ever watched the movie, right? That and they had a scene where there was a bunch of people gathered, right? Somebody was giving a talk or something. There was a bunch of people gathered. You know how to be having the old little photo lights, you know, the little photo flash cameras back then. And so the person up there giving the speech, and so he delivered a final line, right? And we shall prevail. And everybody start clapping. Yeah. When you listen to the very end, that's when you start to hear. You get the like, yo, you clapping too long. You clapping ho. Man, listen, you know they don't got no rhythm, Capone. I don't know why you trying to take.
So if they don't got no rhythm or none, and they don't got no soul, why black people try to be like them? Quote unquote black people.
Because they was conditioned to. They was conditioned.
You want to wear your suit like them. You know, you want to work like them. You want to be a boss like them. You want to control people like them. You want to be
even nowadays, Capone. If you are even nowadays, if you want to go sign up to be, let's just say you want to sign up to be a chef at a restaurant, right? And you got a job interview. How you going to work at that job interview? You ain't going in no jeans and no white t-shirt with a baseball cap on. I know you ain't, but I know what you are coming with. You coming with a presentable top, you coming with some presentable bottoms, and you coming with some presentable shoes. Because that's what the system require of you. If it was up to me, I had me a little what's one of them little robe cover things on they be wearing over in the motherland? I had one of them on and a dashiki and some flip-flops.
Yeah, see, we was the ones that was dressed up, you know, in the suits first. That's what I'm saying.
Like, had no suits first.
Yeah, Black Wall Street, bro. We had all the business.
Our people wasn't. We had to build Black Wall Street.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had all the business.
We had to build that. What the white people do? They set us free. We built Black Wall Street. You know, we built Tulsa.
Well, we rebelled.
And what the KKK
we rebelled from slavery. And by reading certain scriptures in the Bible, we forged the Exodus, and we went into like parts of Kansas.
Oh,
it's called Singleton County. It was one of the places, Singleton County. And we created a hub in Singleton County, and going into Oklahoma.
Right, but the thing about that is, once all of that was settled and done, what did the KKK do? Where was
This was
their
our
gun? You said
response.
they
This
let
was
it. Hold
our
on 1 second.
response to the KKK.
You just said they led an exodus, right? So in the Bible, right, did God abandon Moses and them after the exodus, or was he still with them?
He was still with them.
All right, so
As long
now
as
let's go to real life.
You know,
Let's go to real life. Let's go to real life real fast, right? So here we had
talking about real life.
yeah. So here we had what's her name? I can't Harriet Tubman, who y'all call a Black Moses, right? Delivered people from slavery. And then we had the Black Wall Street, right? Okay. But then we had some white people who believed the same thing y'all believed. It was just that God told them to burn our towns down. And so where was God when they was burning down our towns?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Us establishing these communities was our response to the KKK. So this is how we combated them, by understanding that we was the lost
didn't
children,
God listen?
the lost tribes of Israel.
People and the black people were the chosen people. Why didn't God give them a different message? Why he ain't hardened their hearts like he hardened Pharaoh's heart? And why he ain't just make them say, man, listen,
okay,
I want no parts of y'all.
So the heart hardened thing. So it has two, or probably more, probably an esoteric meaning as well. So one of them on the surface level is that you're going to be stubborn. If you got a hardened heart, you're stubborn. You're not willing to forgive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the hardened heart is. But it also affects you according to the Egyptians, in the afterlife, right? So
what I'm asking is, just like God intervened in the Exodus,
it does say that
it
does say that the children of Israel did have hardened hearts because they weren't able to forgive. This is in the New Testament, right? Christ said, because of your heart was so hardened, Moses suffered you to have a divorce, right? Because they couldn't forgive their women after they would have committed adultery or slept with someone.
All right, so hold on, Capone, because what I'm asking is, just like God intervened in Exodus,
right?
Why didn't he intervene in our slave story?
Because that was prophetic that it was going to happen.
Nah, man, what?
So when you read hold on. So when you read, it's in the Bible. So it'd be different things in the Bible, certain places.
So wait a minute, because y'all been saying this a lot.
Hold on. It'd be small nuances, right? So, but in the Apocrypha, right? And when I say the Apocrypha, I'm talking about the actual Apocrypha, not just any old book that's supposed to be hidden, right? I'm talking about the Apocrypha that's included with the 1611 KJV, King James Bible, right? So in the Apocrypha, it talks about in the book of Second Esdras, and this is actually the last chapter 16. It talks about when the sword is when the Lord sends the sword, which is the judgment, who can turn it back? So you got to understand, us going into slavery was a judgment for us disobeying our power, right? And we still doing it. And you can't turn that back. You can't turn that hand back. Once he say, as it is like as an arrow, as an archer shooting the arrow. The arrow don't return back to the archer.
The prophecy in the Bible of us going into slavery in America.
You get what I'm saying, humble? The once you set something in motion, it doesn't return back. It go forth and do what it has to do. Just like snow. Like when it snows, the snow don't go back into the sky. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So can you show me in the Bible where it's prophesied that we will be enslaved in America?
It say you're going to be enslaved wherever you go.
No. I said here.
Yeah, but it says wherever you go. If it's not going to, that'll be an anachronistic term for it to say America. So you be looking, I'm going to find out a word, what you be looking for, but you be looking for words that's anachronistic, right?
Y'all be no, what y'all
in its
do is
meaning.
y'all be interpolating the Bible.
No,
Y'all
we
be
know that it's America.
Y'all be putting your own translations and y'all be trying to make it say what y'all wanted to say, but that's not how you read the Bible.
So hold on. So I say this. So early on, I say from a lot of Christian doctrine and stuff, and early on, just our response to segregation, discrimination, and stuff like that. It was known, but this is false though. But it was known that the 400 years of slavery of the African American was prophesied in the Bible. As in, well, it's the same length that was prophesied in the Bible. So that's false though. You know what I'm saying? That's not that just us being that was false. That part is false about the 400 years. The 400 years part was them going into Egypt. They was in Egypt for 400 years.
A lot of Hebrews got
200 and a half years from Joseph, and then another 200 years from the time that they
hold on.
From Joseph to Moses, it's 400 years. From Joseph to Moses, it's supposed to be 400 years. Probably 430, I think. That ain't have none. That part don't have nothing to do with America. The part that has something to do with America is after they left Egypt, and it says that you're going to be cursed. I mean, you're going to be servants to the other nations wherever you go to dwell, and you're going to be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth and stuff like that. Even rabbis, African rabbis, understand that as prophetic to the transatlantic slave trade.
Right. Hold on 1 second, though.
In the African,
y'all have a Bible verse.
Diaspora.
Right, but y'all Hebrews have a Bible verse in Deuteronomy something where they talk about, you'll be enslaved and somebody won't sell you back. I can't remember it offhand. But oftentimes y'all use that Bible verse to say it's the prophecy that we came here to America.
Yeah, because it mentioned the ship part. So a lot of people do.
Now, how does that prove the prophecy though?
Well, it was the ship's part. So you never seen them go. So for one, Egypt meant bondage, meant the house of bondage. So it's talking about them going back into captivity, but this time with ships, meaning they're going to be transported.
So how many people during that time do you think was transported by ships? Mind you, the slave trade is just a small part of the Arabs.
Oh, you talking about during the 16th? Oh, yeah. So, no, it was, so according to the slave voyages and according to the records that we had, it was over, 10 million or something like that? Over a course of 400 years.
So they only
300 over my bad 300
only
years.
displaced people
1600
from
to the 1800 300 years.
Right. So they only displaced people from Israel. They ain't displaced nobody else.
No, I ain't say that.
But that's what the Bible is saying.
No, the Bible is not saying that. So the children of Israel, they have strangers that come and dwell amongst them, and those people, those strangers, whether they be from another nation, it's a law that say they will be like one as if he was born in the land.
Okay, so now how do y'all determine what land the Israelites went to and what lands the Israelites didn't go to?
Well, that takes rigorous study. One thing I can tell you, whatever Israelites, Jews, Hebrew, or what else the name they got for? Wherever we go, wherever they go, they leave a trace of them being there. You know, synagogues, um, Torah scrolls, Hebrew writing, um, Mosaic practices.
Now these things, hold on 1 second, because you talking about these things as
hold on. One last thing, humble. Also, no idolatry.
Okay, so now you talking about these things, right? The Torah scrolls, the synagogues, as if that these things are things that you Hebrews consider y'all stuff, when we know that these things are not y'all's, right? The Masoret and the Masoret prayer, y'all wouldn't consider that y'all stuff unless you saying that y'all go by the Talmud.
No. So so if you read about the Masoretes, you know that that's the religion that came from Babylon. Not Masoret. About the Talmud in the Masoretic teachers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They came with a religion that they got from Babylon.
Right. So now that's not y'all religion, right?
No.
So when we now talking about Geese and Ethiopia and those Jews and Beta Israel and those Jews, those are not y'all Jews, correct?
No, they are. But those Jews, if you understand Beta Israel and the Igbo and the Falashas, in the Limba, they have a different Talmud than the Jewish people have. So Talmud I think Talmud mean teachings or something like that.
It just means it's the oral tradition. It's the commentary
of the Bible. Yeah, so they got a different one. So you should read it, the Falashas and the and the Falashas and the Igbo. They got a different Talmud, even than what the Jewish people have. They don't have a Babylonian Talmud. That's what I'm saying. They have
find out right now.
Even in the Dead Sea Scrolls is different from the Talmud that the Jewish Israelis have today.
Let's see. All right. So number one, the Ethiopian Jews don't have a Talmud.
Okay.
Both the Babylonian and Jerusalem versions is the foundation of the Rabbinic Judaism, which shaped Judaism practiced by Orthodox conservatives. But Beta Israel community in Ethiopia never had a Talmud, never followed Rabbinic Haka. I had the Mishnah Gemara, never used the oral tradition. Their Judaism developed before Talmud reached global Jewish.
See that? That's what I meant by that. I probably should say it common because you said
shut up.
But I knew they had a different one. And I think the Dead Sea Scrolls, their teachings that they got it's called the Jerusalem Talmud. The one that the Israeli Jews today, theirs is called the Babylonian Talmud.
So they use the Orit. The Orit includes the Torah, Genesis to Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, and Ruth. Beyond the Orit, their canon also includes book that Rabbinic Judaism does not treat as canonical, such as First Enoch, Jubilees, Tobit, Sirach, Barak, and Maccabees. Ethiopian Maccabees different from the Rabbinic ones. These texts reflect pre-Talmudic Jewish tradition. Their religious leaders were not rabbis. Instead of rabbis, Beta Israel had Qasim, singular caste, priests, debretas, scribes, canitors, and ritual experts. Their authority came from the Torah and the and the ancient priestly tradition from the Talmudic interpretation. Their practice different from Rabbinic Judaism because they lack the Talmud, their halakha, halakha, their literal law interpretation. Examples: they observe biblical purity laws more strictly. They practice Passover with a literal lamb sacrifice until modern times. That's crazy. They kept Sabbath with stricter biblical rules, so they didn't have anything. So they didn't have anything to update their thing with. Okay, after the mass migration, Operation Moses, Operation Solemn, Beta Israel were recognized as Jews under the law of return, integrated
Right.
into
So So let me explain that. So
Rabbinic
the
Judaism.
law of return. That's what now. That's what the Israelis they put that you can return back to Israel. So they have like Pacific nations that can, or ethnic groups. One is the Native Americans. Two is African Americans and stuff like that, because they found out that through the because I think it's a law in Leviticus about a Egyptian woman or a Jewish woman being married to an Egyptian or something like that. So now so that's why they include.
My
And also,
thing is,
it's
if
other
it's
ones
all the
too.
Bible, why you need all these other different things for the Bible? The Bible should be the Bible, and y'all should understand what that
But
is.
the
How many
Bible,
people need to translate this?
yeah, but the Bible is based off of Hebrew culture. It's based off the writing of the ancient Hebrews, which in fact proved their existence in totality, right? So it's not a myth, because we wouldn't have a Bible if it was a myth.
That's not true. What you said, y'all wouldn't have a Bible if it was a myth. That is not true. See, that's why y'all gotta study history. You gotta study history. But see, y'all scared to study history because then y'all have to, like, there's parts of history you have to reshape because now you want history to fit what the Bible say.
No, we don't. It's just what it is. Is how I see it is that. So when you say, wait, hold on. So when you say that we want to reshape history, I guess you're talking about the from the beginning, from the creation, how it don't fit with scientific discoveries or whatever. But you got to understand that those discoveries, scientifically, these are all new theories.
Let me ask you a
So
question. Here's what I mean. I'm gonna ask you this question, and your answer is gonna give me what I mean when I say you want to reshape history. Was there a man by the name of Abram who defeated 12 kings of Mesopotamia?
do it say 12? I thought it said 4.
Four. I apologize. 4 kings of Mesopotamia.
There's a man described as Abram that did that. Hebrew is a descriptive.
Who is this man in history that's described as Abram that did that?
A man that did it. He's described as being the father of nations, right? Which was what Abram means, right? Abraham, right? So whoever he is, right, was if his identity is being concealed for some reason, right? The Hebrews described this person as being Abraham, or later on, which became Abraham.
All right.
So that's my
So if we go into history, here's what I mean by y'all be trying to change history. If we go into history, there's going to be anthropology of an event where one tribal people took down 4 kingdoms.
um. Hmm.
This is
Well,
around.
that's not how
This is
we see. What we
this is
look
around
at is see if four
2000,
kingdoms was
2100,
diminished. Hold on,
BC.
humble. That's not how the anthropology work, right? So what you will have to look at is you have to see a depletion of four prominent kingdoms during that time. Whether if they say that they was conquered by one individual or 300, whatever it may be, um, you have to see the diminishing of those kingdoms. So you have
No,
to
so
see
the
four
point.
separate kingdoms becoming one. I guess it'll be. I guess the proper context would be like four kingdoms becoming one or something like
All right.
that
So here's the thing. So here's
in
the
the
issue.
early Bronze Age.
When you look in history, they're number one. It doesn't show this scene, but number two, when we're talking about Abram, and we're like you said, it doesn't happen, you know, they're collapsing and things of that nature. This will be happen. This would have took place around 2100 to 2000 BCE.
Yeah,
Right.
around the time it's
Right.
probably like a little bit after
But
Imhotep.
so when we expand this
So
and
that's a
we
little
just
bit
don't
probably like
focus on
third to fifth dynasty.
right.
This be going
So
on.
now when we expand this view and we look at what was happening there, let's not just say, okay, well, let's just focus on this. Let's look at what was happening there around this time, right? So we know that the competing nations, right, was Sumer, Kemet, Babylon, things of that nature, right? What powers would have fallen? Like it doesn't, like things like that is when I say I have to rewrite history, because when we look at that, when we expand that, right, like you said, we got Imhotep, we got we got some figures here, and we got some scrolls and some lists and some cuneiforms. We got some stuff here, but where is this biblical stuff that we're talking about?
Yeah, so what you looking for, and you gotta be careful because it's kind of fallacious. Because you saying because it don't mention it somewhere that is not, that mean that it didn't happen. That's what you're alluding to.
No, I'm saying because it's not there, it didn't happen.
But it's reasons why it wouldn't be there, not just non-existent. The you ever heard the pen is mightier than the sword? Right. So some people could have political reasons why they don't want to document certain things. And I'm not saying that it's not there, but I'm gonna go right here. Like, let's go to Genesis 14 real quick and see what details we can extrapolate or gather from the account, right? So it says Genesis 14:1. It says, and it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, or Amraphel, right? King of Shinar. So Shinar here is represented as Sumer or Mesopotamia. And it says Arioch, king of Elasar, Shadalamor, king of Elam. Now we know the Elamites, we know that this is a pre-Sumer, pre-Sumerian culture, or probably contemporary, right? Elam. Then you have Tadal, king of nations, right? That these made war with Bara, king of Sodom, and Barisha, king of Gomorrah, and Shania, king of Adam, and Shimber, king of Zebulun, and the king of Bela, which is in Zor. So now I found my research, right? I found these 5 cities in verse 2, where it starts with Sodom and Gomorrah.
Can you find these cities in historical places?
So
and
hold
where
on.
they tell you they are?
So all we have to do is just research these areas and see when they was inhabited and who are these kings. So hold on, let me just look at these kings' name in the Hebrew, right? Because some things is not translated properly in the English.
Okay.
So it say
you on a phone or you on a laptop?
Yeah, I'm on my other phone. I'm looking at it. So it say Bariah.
What Bible verse you say?
Genesis 14, 1 and 2. So what I'm saying though, humble in a nutshell is that this is a key detail, right? Where it's listing kings in their nations. So even if we don't find the king, we should be able to find these nations, right? Either under their Hebraic name or a derivative English name of what we will have today. So that's part of studying. That's what I was saying. So when you go into, so let's say Shinar, right? So I have from a Sumerianologist, I think his name is Kramer Noah, what is his name? Harold Noah Kramer or something like that, right? And he points out that Shinar is Sumer. Well, you can find this out that Shinar was really Sumer if you translate it. And why is it Sumer? Because the Hebrews, we got 2 syllables. We have a Samak, and then you have the Shin, right? But other nations, they won't probably only hear just one. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, I'm going too deep into it. But this right here, if I was just be objective, and I'm like, man, what is this talking about? Who is these kings? I would try to research these kings. You know what I'm saying? Try to find out who are these people. As far as the history, skip the narrative, right? But it talks about them going against the Zemims and the Emims, the Zemims of Ham, and the Emims of Shava, Kethi, I can't even say that word, and the Horites and stuff like that. So I would be looking for these nations, people, and we know that we have Elamite culture. And we have, when I researched Shinar, I went to Sumer. And yeah, we could just go into see if anybody mentioned them. You know, that's how you have to like really dive into the history and try to get into the historical aspect of it, right? Also, it say Abraham was confederate with Canaanites. So we need to see who is early Canaanite kings is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But these are certain things that I look for to be explained more so in like historical writings of like Josephus, just to get the a historical conception of what the Torah is saying, or what earlier people believed that it was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even like when you get into even the Greeks, Josephus, he explained how the Greeks, how they understood who these kings was, like or these nations. So he'll give a nation name in Hebrew, and then he'll say the Greeks called them this. So the Greeks called certain nations of people, they call them a name in their Grecian tongue. You know, they reclassify. Mm-hmm. So all that stuff is key in like research. So we trying to research stuff like through and there. That's why they call it a mosaic, because that's how That's what I was talking about. We looking at it. It's like tunnel vision. It's like you got blinders on or something. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I'm here, Brody.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. So I wanna share my screen here because again, this be the thing that we be missing, bro. So what I did was I popped the Bible verse in here, right? And I asked about the kings and I asked about the cities.
Right.
We're gonna read this. It say the narratives in Genesis 14 is often referred as to the Battle of Siddim, presented a complex insurrection of the Bible's tradition and Near Eastern archaeology from an anthropological and historical perspective. The historicity of these figures is viewed through the lens of linguistic parallels rather than direct evidence of the battle itself, which means, damn, they not even viewed historically. But let's get into it.
No, that all that means is that the Hebrew.
Hold on, let's get into it. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
While no specific extra biblical records, this is why I always ask for the extra biblical records, because if the Bible is something true and is telling a true story, then there should be something in history to reflect this. While no specific extra biblical record confirms this specific four-way military alliance, the names and titles of these kings reflect authentic linguistic patterns of the Middle Bronze Age gap, 2000 and 1600. Okay.
Okay, so right there, so it say that. All right, go ahead.
This is the issue that I'm having. Amperfel, right? L, right? This is Raphael, right? From Shinar. Now, who do the historians or the biblical historians say this is? Historically identified with Hammurabi of Babylon. Why didn't they just say Hammurabi of Babylon?
Because hold on, but humble.
I'm gonna tell you why they don't say this. Watch this. Most modern scholars reject this due to chronological gaps. Others suggest Amir Suin of Shinar is the Hebrew term for Sumer, southern Mesopotamia. So here's why this king right here cannot be found. Because they don't know if they're referring to Hammurabi or Amir Suin.
But humble, it's a lot of things in history that's like
Capone,
that.
Let me get it in, Capone. I got you.
Right,
so now we got Ariel, right, from Eliezer, often identified with Ariel Akul. An Elamite name, Eliezer is widely considered to be the city of Larsa in Babylonia, right? So here we see two places in Babylon. Okay, so why are they just not saying this whole thing is taking place in Babylon? Let's keep going. Kedora Lamora, right, from Elam. Elamite Kedora Lamora, servant of the goddess Lagmer. So these people are servants of the goddess.
But humble, you see that right there, right? You see that Lamar, right? You see how the Hebrew capture the name of that deity being in an honorific transposition way. So we know that that's kind of like historically sound just by that.
And so here's the thing about that, but see, here's the thing about that though. If you say that, right, then here's one. Well, hold on. Where's the one where we was just talking? We was just talking about if we say that, then that's the same thing with this L determinative right here, right? But we know Hammurabi and them didn't worship L.
Well, that was so with the Hammurabi thing. That's I will gravitate to the second one because the second one actually has. Oh, I see what they saying because it has Because okay, so with grammar they add letters like the English. It'll add a consonant to a word. So go back up to Hammurabi.
Yeah.
So we probably say Hammurabi name, but his name is probably pronounced Abarabi. You know what I'm saying? That's what they saying right there.
No,
I'm saying I
of
don't see
course,
how they
right.
would get
They got
Hammurabi.
names right there, but that's because of how we put it in English. Now, the point I'm making is neither one of these historical figures fit this story. None of them. So then
Why?
that begs the differ. Who's this guy? This is why extra biblical confirmations is important, because you can't say he's Hammurabi because Hammurabi's story don't fit with this war. You can't say he's
What's Hammurabi's story?
Hold on 1 second. You can't say he's Amir Suwin because Amir Suwin doesn't fit with this story. So
Wait, hold on.
Where can we find this guy in history, which we can't?
Hold on, Humble. You said that their story don't fit. So what is their story and what don't fit about it?
So Hammurabi's story don't fit because there's a chronological gap. Amir Suwin's story don't fit because this right here wouldn't be where they at. So it don't fit. So we can't say that these are these people. So this is the issue with biblical historians when they try to fit people. Oh, okay, well this is why they always say, well, this could possibly be this person. But possibilities don't cut when we're asking for facts of an event. Like if I'm asking for the facts, for an example, if I'm asking for the facts that this war happened, right? And y'all take me to something that Amir Suwin was in, right? A war that he was in, right? And say, okay, this is a probabilistic war that link him to this war that say that he's this person. But that's not good enough to say that this war in Genesis 14 actually happened.
So his name is, hold on. So his name is not Hammurabi. His name is Amurapi.
Okay, we get that. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
We know. Hold
on. And he was king. Hold on. And he was king in Babylon from circa 1792 to circa 1750. So he had a reign for what? What's that? 40 years,
bro.
So he reigned 40 years.
So if he reigned, so again, that's the age gap, bro. This is talking about from 2000, right, to 1600.
No, that's not. That's talking about that. What are you talking about? That's the Bronze Age. Is the Middle Bronze Age is 2000.
What this says. Hold on. This now you disagreeing with your own Bible. While no specific extra biblical records confirm the specific four-way military alliance, the names and titles of these kings reflect authentic linguistic patterns of Middle Bronze Age.
Right, which is 2000. That's the middle. That's the middle. That's the Middle's Bronze Age, though.
Right.
So they telling you that the Middle's Bronze Age period is from that time. They ain't saying that the historical people that they are connecting the biblical reference to or descriptions to being in that taken throughout that entire period. No, it's not saying that. Hammurabi was reading. Oh, no, I'm reading this. Never mind. But yeah, they say his name was Amurapi. So when you get so in the Bible it say his name was what is it? Raphael. That's kind of a similar a linguistic match, I would have to look at the other person that they named as well, which was that Amir Suin of Ur.
So the thing of the issue with this is when you have to identify that these two people or even these two people are the same. We know these two people are not the same, right? But even from here, I want to know how many times is this king named in the Bible? Because I don't even think we
So
have enough.
he had a conquest, so it probably
I don't even
was
think
him.
we have enough information to about this king to actually say who he really is.
You know what? You just got. I'm gonna research this because King of the Amorites. However, one study of Arabi has been found in as far north as Diapur, where he claims the title King of the Amorites.
Let's get into it. See,
Does
this
it
is
say King of the Amorites in the Bible?
called on the panel research right here. OPR. Ampharel is one of the most enigmatic figures in the Hebrew Bible, appealing to major player in
Yo,
First World War of the Bible's narrative. Bible mentions exactly twice. Ampharel is mentioned by name exactly 2 times in the entire Bible, both within the same chapter. Genesis 14:1 introduces him and his coalition. And it came to pass in the days of Ampharel, the king of Shinar, Genesis 14:9. List him again during the description of the battle, which Chador, Lorma, king of Edom, Timsan, El Shinar, and 4 kings against 5. He does not appear in any other genealogical book or chronicle narratives. What is known and debated, while the biblical appearance is brief, his identity has been a major focus on historical and archaeological research for over a century. The Hammurabi theory in the late 19th century, scholars starting with Eberhard Schroeder popularized idea that Ampharel is Hammurabi, the famous lawgiver of Babylon. The logic. Shinar is the biblical name for Babylonia. Phonetically, Ampharel was seen as a Hebrew rendition of Hammurabi. Current status. Most modern historians have abandoned this identification. The dates for Hammurabi, 1792-1750 BCE, do not align well with the traditional dating of Abraham.
wait, but what is they saying is the traditional dating of Abraham? That's what I'm saying. We know that they misdated a lot of the biblical stuff.
The L at the end of our Frau name is difficult to explain if it was okay. So this is why I went here with it, because hold on, if I can go up really fast, you pointed out something, right?
Yeah.
You pointed out this right here, right? How we know that these people worship. Oh no, it's not them. It's this right here. No. Wait. Was it?
Hey,
this?
what you asked Gemini for that? I need that chart.
For what? This chart?
Yeah.
I just brought in the box. So on my co-pilot, I'll be researching stuff as well, but I can't screen share my co-pilot. So what I do is I take the question, or I take, like, we was researching a Bible verse. I took the Bible verse for my co-pilot and put it in my Gemini.
And it just broke it down. I know what you did. I see what you did. It's cool. I thought you said.
Now here's what's important though, Brody. Here's what's important. I didn't say from a biblical perspective. I didn't say from a biblical narrative. I said from an anthropology. I apologize. I said according to anthropology, which of these kings are historical and where are these cities?
Yeah, that's important. But yeah, I don't never look at I don't never go from a biblical a doctrinal standpoint. I always go from the biblical narrative, as in Josephus, when I'm looking up stuff, right? And as far as in compare that to what actual history we got available.
Mm-hmm. But really fast, I want to get right here really fast because this is important. Because what we was talking about up there, right, about the queen, is say philologists now argue that the L at the end of Apharel's name is difficult to explain if it was Hammurabi. The reason is because this L represents, we know, the god of Canaan, El. But if this L was on the end of Hammurabi's name, right, then what god did Hammurabi
But
worship?
hold on, humble. What's on the end? Hold on, but listen. What's on the end of Hammurabi name? Is it a dinger? Because if it's a dinger at the end of Hammurabi name, then I know why the Hebrew put L there, because that's what dinger means. The dinger is the little star. It looks like a little star.
Okay, hold on one second. We're gonna get to that real fast. It say alternative historical identification. Sin, some scholars, included David Rao, suggest he was Sin, the third ruler of the Neo-Sumerian third dynasty of Ur. Even right here, bro, where do it ever say Ur of Chaldea? Like, when we go break down these history, this is why getting this history is so important. Even looking at these dynasties, you'll realize that, like, damn, out of looking at all these dynasties, I ain't never find a Ur Chaldea. But it said
they understand Ur as being Sumerian, but I want you to understand this. You know, a lot of Sumerian cities have Shemitic names.
Yeah, I mean,
but Sumerian is not Shemitic.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, according to the guy that placed the Shemitic family and thing, yeah. But again, the reason that's because of what you just said. When we go into Samaria, we know that they don't have, that's not Semitic. So, but let's get into this really fast. It say Amu-Pa El, another theory identifies him as the king of Quantana, modern day Syria, assuming scribal errors. A D was misread as an aura. Oh,
see, that's what I'm saying. It be little things like that that'll change everything.
Now, here's the thing about that,
though. Especially in early anthropology and archaeology, it was a lot of discrepancies.
Now, here's the thing.
It hasn't been corrected yet.
Because if this was misread, right, or if this was misidentified, like, we can't even get into this. We can't even get into that. Unknown petty king. Many anthropologists believe Apharel was a local chieftain or king of similar city-states during the Middle Bronze Age, 2000 1600, a period categorized by shifting alliances between many small kingdoms. Traditional legendary identifications in Jewish tradition, the Talmud, Midrash, and Targums, there was very strong consensus that Apharel is Nimrod. They just giving this nigga to everybody. They say, yo, you everybody, bro.
Yeah, that's the time.
Yo said he Nimrod. Oh, the logic of the name. Rabbinic sources reappear that the description, title, or a pun rather than a birth name. They break the name into two Hebrew words. Amar said, Pharrell, fall. They interpret as mean who said fall into the three nets. That's crazy work. Yo, see this, right? This
so
is
in the Jewish Encyclopedia. It says that Hammurabi is Amriel.
So this right here, I'm explaining why this is so important, right? Because y'all been hearing me for the last past 2 days talk about this thing called interpolation. What we just did was stop a lot of people from using Genesis 14 and interpolating it to what they want it to mean, right? So there's some people who's going to read Genesis 14 and going to say, oh, that was Hammurabi. That's interpolation. You don't know that. There's some people who's going to say, oh, well, this was Amir Sinoon. That's interpolation. You really don't know that. So when this is why we have to go deep and do this research. Some people even say he was just a what they say. Some people say he was damn, damn, I just had that shit. Some people say, man, this man was, what they just say this man was, that was crazy. Oh, here it is right here. They say he was Nimrod, right? So it's like,
yeah, that's what.
When you go in and do this research, some people just say that he was a petty king. Others interpreted he who words, brought darkness, fella. So depending on who you lean with most often, right, determines who this king is. I'm keeping my
no. It depends on what is it saying that this king is doing.
Well, it just mentioned him twice in the Bible. One time, and let's go back up here.
Oh, let me go to my chat GPT, man, because I gotta.
One time he's mentioned in the Bible.
I didn't think to research this like that.
It's a
introduction
in his coalition that came to pass in the days of Apharel, the king of Shinar. So that the only thing it does is it introduces him. So it gives a king, and it says what land he's ruling, and then it describes him in a battle.
That's not the only information that
it do. It say these are the only two times that he's listed in the Bible.
For one, he's joined with 4 other kings. The vow of Siddim, that's another key detail, right? And also it talks about him linking up with the Amorites.
But what I'm saying is this is the only time. This is the only thing. This is the only time we could find him and only him in the Bible. And it talks nothing else about him no other way in the Bible. Now, we got things, that's why this is important, because we got things like the Rabbinics and the Talmud and things of that nature who make up stories about what he was and what he did.
Hold on, that's in the book of Jasher. That part that they talking about is in the Talmud. So Talmud has Jasher in it. So that's talked about in Jasher.
Right.
I just saw it. It just said Sifa HaYashar.
That the Bible gives no relevance of who this person was.
Hold on, let's see. So it mentioned these 5 kings, right?
Yep.
But that's why you got to read. Look, verse 4. 12 years they served. He say, wait, verse 3. All these was joined together in the vow of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. So what is the Salt Sea?
What is the soft sea?
The Salt Sea. What sea is? It's talking about the Dead Sea, right? The Salt Sea. That's what it's talking about, the Dead Sea. And it says 12 years they served Chedorlaomer, and in the 13th year they
speed past that like you just didn't make a claim. We about to figure out what that is.
No, the South Sea. That's the Sodomite Sea. That's the Dead Sea.
Name for the Dead Sea. Okay, located on the Jordan River Valley. It is bordered by Jordan in the eastern and Israel in the west. The banks to the west, one of the most distinctive geographical features in the world for the 7 reasons. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 7. So it talks about this. They returned and came into in Mishpat, which is Kadesh. So now it's telling you wherever this place is known as Kadesh to the Hebrews. And it says, it smote all the country of the Amalekites. Huh?
How you spell Kadesh?
Kadesh. Kadesh.
So Kadesh is a place here, right?
It's a place in by the South Sea, yeah. It's probably is near the what Sodom and Gomorrah is, because they explain how Sodom and Gomorrah came to be. And he say he smote all the country of the Amalekites and also the Amorites. So if you know what the Amorites was at first, the Amorites was they Transjordan, right? But they in the they if you're looking at the if you say trans they south of the Jordan, meaning south of the Arnon. So it's so you had the Amorites, and then you have the Moabites, and it's a river that separate them called the Arnon River.
Oh, hold on 1 second. All right, so that what you call them is it doesn't name them as a place; it names them as a people. And so they turned their back and came to them with that is Kadash. It conquered all the country of the Elamite. This suggests the coalition to cancel. Transjordan Plateau reached Kadesh and then turned their back toward the valley of Sodom, the South Sea, to engage the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah. Location Kadesh. Location and address specifically within the wilderness of Zen. Approximately to the South Sea, it sits approximately 50 to 60 miles southeast of the southern tip of the Dead Sea. Okay, modern site. It is generally identified with the site of Tel El Quadrat, the eastern Sinai Peninsula near the modern border between Israel and Egypt. This site is famous for its abundant neutral springs, which explains the name M. Mizpatat, Spring of Judgment. Okay. Okay, so this is 50 to 60 miles southwest of the southern tip of the Dead Sea. Wait a minute, let
Yeah,
me
so
see
all it's saying is that these
something real
kings
quick.
they established a separate colony, and these became Sodom, Gomorrah. Um, they established another kingdom called that's what Sodom and Gomorrah was. Sodom, Gomorrah, and the other 5 cities, the other 3 cities.
Hold on 1 second. We about to get a map for this shit. I need to see this visually. I need a map. I said a map. What the hell?
Who the hell is the children of Eden?
Before saying summary map.
That's
Let's
in the
see.
children of Eden.
Oh no.
Haran is the Kari, Kari,
Yeah,
and
no.
that's another thing. So like Haran, right? Haran is really pronounced Karen, like with a ch sound, right? But the Jewish people they say Haran. They pronounce that letter with a hard H. So when we transliterated that in English, we put Haran. The same thing happened with Ham.
Right. All right. So here's a map.
And Enoch as well. Enoch name is with that letter as well too, which is the Kaf. But some
Right.
languages don't have a letter for that specific character. So they just use the next best uh, letter to what's it called
Right.
to make that sound. They make that sound. Kind of like in Spanish, I think they got like a letter that's it's like a double H or something like that, or a
Right.
double D or something. Now, how would you write that in English? You probably just use a single D, right?
Probably.
But I think we use a J in English. But go ahead, I'm done, bro.
Oh no. Can you see the screen? I'm actually trying to look for it. It's oh,
Right, yeah, yeah,
yes,
you got it.
it's Abraham's home. I'm actually looking for this. Still ain't what I want. I was actually looking
Oh,
for a map.
that's a good article. Go back up to that map because it
This
show all the places, and you see that's what Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, damn, my phone died. Damn,
Sodom and Gomorrah is right here.
got the
Abraham's attack. Oh, his phone died. What's up? What's up, Quantum? We actually about to shut it down in a minute, Brody. What it do? What it do? Intelligibility, intelligibility, intellectibility. What? How you say that? Intelligibility. I think he dropped off and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, he dropped off. Nah, man. What up? What up? What up? We just up here, um, chilling for real, for real. You know, we ain't doing too much. I don't like to be on the. I don't like to take up the whole screen, bro. That'd be crazy for me sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I take up the whole screen. That shit look crazy. Um, what up? What up? What up? What up? But yeah, me and my brother Capone was just up here talking. We was getting a little to, getting about the Bible. I was explaining that biblical history don't amount to actual history. And I was just showing him why. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, bro, I get it. Y'all want this stuff to be real. Now, I don't give so much pushback on people that talk about this being metaphysical or, I take it as a spiritual guide, things of that nature. Hey, read it the way you want to read it. But then we come into these intellectual arenas. Don't be out here talking about having these conversations as if they're real people, bro. That's my only thing. We've been up here for a while, 3:39. I'm actually about to shut it down. Thank everybody for coming. We most definitely gonna be live a little later on tonight. I just actually came through. I didn't even know it was a watch party at first. You feel me? And then, my man asked me to hold it down, so I had come through and hold it down. I appreciate everybody for coming. I appreciate all the engagements and the comments. As always, we see the brother Quantum in the building. Hold on. Yep, we see the brother Quantum in the building. What it do, brother Quantum? I see you, Jay. What's up, Jay? What's up, King Hurt? What it do, y'all? I want to appreciate all y'all for coming through. Hey, shout out to the brother Sway. Yo, this brother runs some great shows, man. Some great shows. I'll be over there getting it in. If you want to catch me, you can catch me over there as well. Shout out to that brother. Much respect. And that's it for us, family. Let me see if we got some new commercials coming out. Let me see what we got over here. Let's get it.
In the arena of ideas, words are weapons. Confidence is your armor, and every Titan needs their gear. From the Titans Debate League comes a movement born from energy, faith, and power. Custom debater tees, spiritual wear, and PVO gear guaranteed to uplift your spirit and elevate your mindset. This isn't just fashion, it's identity, it's purpose, it's power. Join the movement, step into the arena. Shop now at ColiseumOfArguments.com and wear what Titans believe in. Let's be real for a second. Some of you claim you're the best debaters in the game, but every week you're still arguing for free. You study, you prepare, you show up, you give them viral moments, and the platform gets paid, not you. That's not competition, that's exploitation. Some leagues built their entire reputation off the backs of debaters they never intended to compensate. Clips, views, donations, super chats, and the people creating the content still walking away with nothing. Over here, we don't play that game. We are one of the only debate leagues actually paying debaters, reinvesting back into the community. Because if your arguments generate value, you deserve value. So here's the reality check. If you're really the monster you claim to be, if your research is really as sharp as you say, if you really think you could dominate any room, then prove it. And here's where the stakes are real. Warriors don't fight exhibitions forever. They fight where the prize is. So you have a choice. Stay comfortable debating for exposure, building someone else's empire, or come step into the arena where serious debaters get respect and paid. This isn't charity. This is combat.
Most definitely. Peace out, y'all. Brother Humble Mystic. Y'all catch me later on tonight.